turn down a little on my end there. Okay. All right, now the Furnace Dragon has shut up. I want to thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom. You can go to cardkingdom.com through the link down below in my panels, and they will know that you got there via my stream, which is helpful for me, but Card Kingdom will be helpful for you if you need anything related to Magic. They have supplies, cards, singles, boosters, old stuff, new stuff, pre-orders on new sets. They always include something fun in the package. They ship quickly, and they have the most competitive prices on average that I've seen in the industry. So hard to go wrong. Check out Card Kingdom. Thank you, Card Kingdom. We are back on the free-to-play account. Yes. I'm going to dive in. Karn's Bastion. That actually seems pretty cool for the Proliferate. Colorless mana is a real cost, though. This, of course, is where all of our eyes go to. This is a very powerful, powerful uncommon, but also very specific color-wise. I don't think this wheels, but if we started here and wheeled there, that would be amazing. New set fun is causing me to lose my discipline on rare drafting a little bit. The Outburst is really good. It's and also the bots are passing it a bunch. I'm gonna forsake discipline. This is almost certainly the correct pick, but I'm so enamored with blue-red right now. I'm gonna take it. Take the Outburst. Nothing great here. I guess we take Ashiok. Ashiok plus Proliferate is a legit plan. What have we got open here? I'm assuming Deckmaster's not giving us numbers yet. Maybe I have to... Anyway, here's word on Deckmaster allowing for visible voting. Let me know. Yeah, Wanderer's Strike is here, and it's splashable. So, I'm in a weird spot in my war progression right now because we're at the place where the community has passed me. So, consider that you guys see most of my war drafting. I've drafted maybe 3 times off air, 2 or 3 times off air since war began. So, literally, all but a handful of drafts that I've even done in the format you have been seen on stream. Consider how many you've done. I would bet that most of my audience has watched or completed way more war events than I have at this point. So Strike is solid, but also this is at the point where I start to lean on conventional wisdom a little bit more blindly than I normally would. It's like, okay, the world is a little ahead of me. I got to start listening to conventional wisdom and going with that as I start to sort all this out myself, or not go with that, but take it more heavily into account. So what I'm getting at is that what I hear again and again and again is that that people are not having success with white. That makes me not want to take white cards, even though I don't specifically have that experience, other than I don't end up in white a lot as well. So anyway, that's why I didn't even mention Strike, because I've been kind of ignoring white. But yeah, sure, Strike is solid and it's splashable, but is Ashiok so much worse that we shouldn't take something that matches where we started here? Because this could work. You know, we want to proliferate in red blue. Yeah, so this we could take this and potentially abandon this, but I'm gonna go with my gut here and take Ashiok.
For my greatest work.
I get what y'all are saying, and I'm just trying to leaning on the conventional wisdom of the group, which is to avoid white. But yeah, now there's not much here, right? Like, we could take a totally lost, and I would like to end up with 1 or 2 in a red-blue deck if that's where we end up. But if we don't, this is probably the place we want to be. So, okay, I'll take it now. What do we got? Visionary in the blue-red or Honor for blue-red. You think like Honor better than Visionary for where we're starting out here? I'm tending to like, we don't want a bunch of these. Do not do much. I mean, you can double activate, sure, if you have two, but yeah, I think it's very close. I think this is a playable 2, which is nice. But this might wheel as well. This has not been wheeling, so maybe we'll take a shot on that wheeling. We know how we feel about this now, which is not good. We gave that card a fair shot in a really nice red-blue deck that won 5 times in best of 3, but we removed our Invade the Cities by the end of that one. Yeah, this is weird. Here's another weird. We faced a God Pharaoh statue that was pretty annoying yesterday, but we overcame it. You know, we ended up winning still. This is just an easy weird. On-Crop Invader is more aggro than we are. We just want to totally lost. Stealth Mission over Silverwing. I'm going to take Stealth Mission. We hope to find real blue flyers instead of fake any color flyers. Manticore playable in this deck. I'll take the Vault Progress and the possible Planeswalker Splash over Grim Initiate here. Nothing going on now. There's an Initiate we cannot play. I haven't been very impressed with the Initiate. Haven't really found a home for it. We want Bond or Pyrohelix for the deck, but I think we can take off a Bond pick for Vivian. This is where if one of these uncommons had been one of the busted uncommon blue-red planeswalkers or something at Row's Outburst or level, then I think I would give in. But I'm just going to take some gem, future gem consideration, and we do have a beacon, so maybe we even. It's not impossible to consider playing it. Yeah, maybe we do with Tamiyo. What do we give up to play Tamiyo? Do we wheel this Plaza? I mean, I think even if we don't play Tamiyo, it's the correct pick. Oh, there is a Jaya's Greeting. I missed the Jaya's Greeting. That would be the perhaps the grown-up pick. Let's just take the Greeting. But since it's appealing on some levels anyway, and it's a rare, we're gonna. I'm gonna take the gems here.
Let us see if your talents
Mixed
are
levels
worth
of discipline on that front. Ooh, hey lady. I like that, but I really like that.
It's us or them. I hope you choose the right side.
This is an interesting pick. We have Spellgorger Weird. We can double up on Ashiok, which really makes it a plan. And you can start bouncing stuff. But Weird number 2 is also quite a plan, right? Yeah, I think it's Ashiok or Weird. Yeah, let's go Weird. I think we're Ashiok is kind of the odd card out here in terms of the strategy emerging, so let's weird it up. Pyrohelix, I think I like here over the bigger stuff and over the plating. Oh, by the way, help me out here and figure out if there's something I'm missing. But I believe laptop plating is the new dazzling lights, although dazzling still needs a target. Like this, when you see on an empty board the auto pass pausing on an opponent with blue and a single mana, blue and something else up, then this is likely what it is. So just pointing that out, that this is, I have sussed out many a laptop plating in hand because of a pause on Oppo when the board is empty and they have a couple of mana. Oh no, I'm not comparing them in terms of power level. I'm comparing them in terms of being cards that you can identify as being in an opponent's hand based on the auto pass not passing for an opponent. This could be one as well, though. If they have blue red, it could be Pyrohelix, because this can go to the dome. So that but yeah. Anyway, so then what are we doing here? Probably, again, I like Pyrohelix over the plating. It's close. They're both kind of, frankly, a little underwhelming. But I'm going to take Pyrohelix. Yeah, Triumph does as well. That's a good point. I haven't seen that played as much, whereas I see plating played a lot. We'll take the profit here. That's kind of the perfect 2. We played a Relentless Advance in our 7-win run yesterday. It's not terrible, but it's not great. But we'll take it here as the only thing that remotely fits with what we're doing. Yeah, hey, Davriel. We're not going to take Davriel, though. Toll would be good if we were in black. Neoform is not something we're going to be doing, but maybe Vault Progress over Cyclops or Wall. I'm never happy. I've not played this Wall yet, and I hope not to. Yeah, let's grab Neoform. I don't really want to play either of those. You get another Relentless Advance, a Dam Breaker. Probably the Dam Breaker over Manticore number 2. Here's a Manticore. We want it. Or an Assault Team. I don't think we're ending up in Assault Team. We want to be doing spell stuff at that phase of the game, I think. I'm going to take this. Vault. Yeah, I'll take the Blind Blast. Get out of here, Bond. Teferi. So, we're gonna lean on this beacon. There's another one, though. Darn it. Do you think we can wheel this beacon? Maybe. Do they take the beacon? I don't know where the bots take the beacon, but now I want to just splash, find more beacons and splash all the planeswalkers. Over, like, Contentious Plan and Heartfire, maybe we'll get one of these on the wheel.
This isn't a fight you can win.
Save it for the Oppo. Teferi. Dreadhorde Twins. Okay. It's okay. It's not really... Aven Eternal, sorry, I missed that. Aven Eternal is the best card for us here. Crunch is good too, but... Birdie is lovely. Hey now. Hey now. Hey now. Well, this... From awesome to suck. I think we got nothing here. Are we ever playing this for any reason? I mean, it is an instant no. Already have one of these we're not going to play already. Maybe a Nog Eternal we're not going to play, or even just, at this point, Vault Progress. Yikes. Hey now, now. Sing this Dreadmalkin to me. Yeah, Vault. All right. Heartfire? Sure. Probably don't need a third Invading Manticore, especially since we have a A Dam Breaker we'd like to run as well. Turret Ogre, I guess, is fine. Turret Ogre was pretty good yesterday in terms of getting us to that end game. Don't think we're playing any of this. Oh yeah, I should have just taken Vault Progress, you're right. That's all right. We'll take this, and now we get to find out, oh, if that beacon... I don't think the beacon is going to wheel, but if the beacon wheels, I'm going to be so happy. Come on, look at this Wanderer Strike. I guess the bots are down with... are down on white as well. Beacon! Yes! Yes! It wheeled. So did the two things we chose not to take instead of Vault Progress, so that's good. It is a little awkward to put in two lands that don't produce our base colors, but I like it. It's gonna be fun. Also, we do not have much room to cut here. We're short on playables by the end of this, just through the nature of the packs. I think, yeah, maybe the right seat was white, but again, I've just been trying to listen to the conventional wisdom of the Magic Hive Mind, because the Magic Hive Mind is way more drafts ahead of me than I am, frankly. And do we play... Let's see, we're splashing green, green, and white. We could run like even a forest, but then we're really off on these. I think we just have to... We're just going to cross our fingers on the beacon splashes. The Magic Hive Mind is saying white is the worst color in the format and is bad enough to be worth avoiding to some extent. I haven't heard anybody say that it's completely unplayable and I would never find myself in any white deck ever, but it is definitely getting the rep as the color you that you want to try to avoid playing it. So such that if you have a tiebreaker kind of pick, or even like this white card is clearly the best card in the pack, but there's this decent one in blah that people are taking the decent one in non-white over white. It's basically like, it seems like people are at the place with white in this format that we ended up with in Dominaria, where it was a splashable color, but not something you really wanted to be as your main color unless certain rare bombs or gold cards that contain white really kind of forced your hand on that. So GT asks, as a completely free-to-play player with a goal of a draft a day, is it better to spend my gems as soon as I have 750 on a ranked draft, or save to 1500 for best of 3 and then do ranked drafts when I have 5,000 coins? It doesn't matter. Like, obviously, if you have the 5,000 coins and it's a format you like, you should use your 5,000 coins over 750 gems. Your fundamental question of 750 gems versus best of 1 at 750 gems versus best of 3 at 1,500. If your goal is a draft a day, then you probably want to do 750 because it's cheaper. Like if we go to the spreadsheet, like I'm not going to go there. I go there a lot, and I think most of you are well aware of it and how to use it. But if you go to that spreadsheet, GT, you can make a copy of it for yourself so that you can adjust the win rate numbers in the gem EV tables. It's defaulted at 50%, but you want to play around with win percentages and then take a look at the EV. And if your goal is a draft a day, then it matters to you that the draft is the less expensive draft, right? If your goal is as much drafts per dollar that you can get, then it becomes a much more fair comparison. But you're going to get a longer amount of play out of a best of 3 in general over a best of 1 in terms of play value. So that's the way to think about it, I would say. Go mess around with that spreadsheet and figure out where your value is. So we're down to 38. Oh, we need to add back those. We're going to add this and this. So, 14, 15, 16. Oh, we even get one more. This is where I think we want... Do we have any doubles? We have double blue and Ashiok, which maybe we even cut Ashiok. No, they've at least nothing reliable. I think there are multiple print runs. And it seems to me that if there are multiple print runs, we ought to be able to solve the multiple print runs too. But yeah, so if we kill Ashiok, then we need to put something else in. Oops, could just be that dork. No, no, no. Not that dork. Yeah, there's not much else to do is the thing. If we don't run Ashiok, we're either running Grim Initiate or the Chain Whip. So it's true. Like, that's the thing. So the other, you're right, Nick. You know, my instinct was to cut Ashiok, but I actually... Does our win percentage go up or down with Ashiok over Chain Whip? Because I don't see it. Or we could run something silly like a sprint. Let's check our numbers here too. 10, 14. And is Vivian even good here? We're only running 10 creatures. You're not wrong, Nick, but also Ashiok has does tend to make people panic. So there's that. Yeah, we do. Sorry, let's add that and then we'll get a better count, right? We need, that's where I was trying to figure out if there was any doubles, as I was trying to figure out whether to add red or blue. And I don't think it matters too much, but it looks like there's more early red than blue, so we'll go ahead and, yeah, let me look. Slightly more red. Okay, so then we do have a cut, but I'm almost... Should it be Vivian? Like, what's Vivian really doing for us? We have 10 creatures, so we're 1 in 4 on average to see one off the top, and she's only looking at the top 3, so we're under average. Yeah, Ashiok can do some tricky things. And that's just cards. We can get anything back. I'm kind of inclined to try this as a starting place. And we just have beacons for these two. Pre-bacon. Yeah, I like Blind Blast over Sprint in that it draws a card. And Sprint feels like a really weak combat trick. Peacetime still wants Ashiok in this deck. This is a lot of 6s. And we have ways to get Ashiok back. That's the thing, Nick. It's like, you're right that if I'm the first one to say don't run milling conditions unless you're really planning to win by milling, but we really might. Especially since, like, how are we winning otherwise? Big Spellgorger weirds. Making things not block. Like, we don't. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Tamio can bring it back, and we have some proliferate, and we have time twist to reset. I think there are enough ways to make Ashiok interesting that I'm willing to give that a try. But we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that. Although now that makes me actually want to go back and do this. Now we have a reason to lean blue over red. All right, free bacon. Let's do it. Update record and stuff here. And we get to the better view as well. Well, it was pretty arbitrary anyway. Like, I didn't have a good reason to go red or blue for the extra card. There was slightly more early red than early blue, but it didn't really seem to make a difference to me. So then having a double blue 3 just kind of pushed it over the edge, even though you're right. Technically, we did have a couple of extra lands for that already. But yeah, it's just... It was a coin flip anyway. Oh, I was wrong. Time Twist is another one to consider for empty board auto tap pause or auto pass pause. It's one of the things I do like to keep an eye on, because sometimes there are sets where there's just not many things it could be, and it can really give you an advantage. Can't remember who was asking about whether or not there was a weird science meme, but there you go. There's your answer. Not much to do yet. I guess Turret Ogre is coming down. Yeah, I mean, we could also take out the Sergeant, I suppose. And if they do something to put a counter on it, that would be annoying. But I like Turret Ogre here. We might find a better target for this outburst. I think I like if we can wait and play the weird with Time Twist backup. That would be neat, because they'll go right after it, and then we can save it, and it'll already have a counter on it. It'll come back with a counter on it anyway. Do we want to offer this trade? We do have a Cyclops coming up that if we get a land, we can drop this and just stonewall it completely. I'm going to take this, because if we get a land off the top, I think I'll just drop the Cyclops and see if that holds the ground. I don't like to trade when we have a creature that can act as quasi-removal. Out of outburst range in the Griffin, and the Turret Ogre, so the Turret Ogre would trade with the Griffin, as we don't have anything else to stop that with. I've been getting weird stops with Nissa on the battlefield. The animated lands highlight like I can do something with them when I have no activated abilities or open cards in hand. Yeah, I guess it's creature taps. Those are the design decisions of auto tap, really. If anybody took an afternoon to really think about how they would solve the problems of auto tap, I think you'd come to a understanding of what poor Andy is up against. There's a lot of give and take there, and a lot of, well, you want it A in this scenario and B in this scenario, so what should we do? Well, we could Spellgorger Weird instead and then have Heartfire up. They're down to 1 card, though. I'm going to give this Chain Whip another chance to hold the board. If they had a fistful of cards, I don't think I would risk this play, because we're too... Oh, in fact, there you go. They're like... I got an important card. I should have thought of that. That may be enough of a tempo hit that was not the right play. Yikes. Now we need, like, a land so that we can combine Rowl's Outburst with Heartfire just to not lose to this thing. Or maybe... Okay, so this is instant, right? Alright, so now we have to, unfortunately, go for a chump of the Griffin and then finish it off with the Outburst. This is a problem, though. Because of this, let's see. How do we overcome that? Maybe it is actually a Spellgorger Weird situation. We need him to use this. Like, basically, Turret Ogre is going to get bounced this turn. So next turn is the turn where we block with Ogre and finish it off. So yeah, I think where Nick's at is correct. Kind of basically the play I was suggesting before now makes a lot of sense in the face of this Scorn. Oh, that's actually... No, it's end of turn, right? So it's not going to be back in time for defense, but that's okay. This is basically what we wanted. So if they draw a blank, we take 5 in the air and then have a plan for the turn after. Hopefully we draw a land, and then we have Rowl's, you know, we have a couple of things we can do. But even just having Rowl's up, hopefully lets us survive the situation. Alright, so we do get Rowl plus Heartfire here. And kind of costs us a creature either way. Yeah, we're gonna have to lose something. Yeah, maybe was there an argument for proliferating and just getting this to be a 6/5? Maybe we should have just done that. Now like I didn't say that out loud, but really should have considered just trying the Dam Breaker for that solution. As it is, we are costed into this now. I don't know. I can't remember what blue 2-drops instance we might have, but never let auto tap screw you when you're about to draw cards. I think keep prof. Maybe we keep all of this. Oh, sorry. It's I was thinking it was Scry. I keep the profit. Yeah, Prophet plus Outburst takes away the other flyer that's making our day worse. The bacon is in the house. And let's rile the bird now. No need to let him untap, be able to activate or anything like that. And sure, we're just going to keep action here. Oh, the other goes into the graveyard. Maybe in that case, we actually want the God Pharaoh then. Spellgorger's pretty good, though. I'm gonna go with God Pharaoh. I'm not worried about finding the means to cast Heartfire. But yeah, this does that. We get the Amass one. But mainly I'm just looking to improve our card draw over so that we can continue to go wide and stay alive here. Yeah, we don't have to cast this immediately. We'll find a spot to discard. We don't need to. I just wanted this for the. We have enough. We have stuff to widen the board. This is for a few turns down the road. I thought it was more important to have this for a few turns down the road. So now we have Kasmina, which I like because then we get to have a. I mean, I guess I should bought it, even though we're gonna loot anyway. I'm still ditching the card we don't want. Although I let auto tap mess us up.
Offer my guidance. Focus on what matters.
Now I think we ditch Relentless Advance. And then we sit back. Battalion. We could take something out before we untapped if we thought it was important. We could take out this sergeant or whatever. It's mana efficient. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If we start doing some board control here, we get to actually start attacking. So fling, let's fling a wizard. Ooh, do we like that? So many decisions in this set. 4, 5, 6, 7 mana total. 5 for totally lost. Yeah, we can keep it. It'll be useful. Yeah, I think we just do the Dam Breaker, right? After Kasmina? Or even before. Anything else to... Yeah, I just want... We'll get Tamio out. Yeah, let's start with Kasmina, see where we're at.
Every day is a new lesson.
I don't want this land now. Now we can attack. Our big risk is that they play something else like another stealth mission or something. So we do need to turn sideways and win before we give them a way out. Now we've got, wait. Tamio on 4 and this on 3. Yeah, that all works too. Lost is instant, yeah. Yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7. If we pitch this, we can't leave both open unless we find another. Let's start with an attack, I guess. Yeah, recurring a bolt seems pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm down with Nick's plan. Recurring bolt seems great.
Let us have a storied battle worth retelling. The storied past holds our future.
And I like attacking with 2 big things now. We have Rouse Outburst, a lot of pressure. Rouse Outburst and Totally Lost make me feel great because I want to keep up protection against losing out of nowhere to something like Stealth Mission. Yeah, Outburst goes to face. Yep. Hopefully we won't need to... That won't be our plan. And I am going to save Kasmina's final activation.
Gideon Jura, at your service.
Anything we... Like, Gideon might just not be good on this board for Oppo. He gets some life back. But we can also just outburst that. Do we know what they're giving it? We just outburst it. And then, oh yeah, that's good. Should just be game over now. Huh, not necessarily. It still should be, actually. Well, 4, 5, yeah, 4, 5, yeah, with 8, we get it. So we get to go Totally Lost. Sure. Wave at Gideon on the way by. All right, we turned the corner, held on, and found a win. Nice. That's a funny looking hand. One of these things is not like the other. But feels like a keep. We've got early defense. in Pyrohelix. And a couple lands away from a turret ogre. Still doesn't feel like it's worth a card to me, East. I want crappy cards like Pyrohelix to defend me in the early game, not that wall. I'm going to keep this, though. Ashiok was a debated choice at the end of our deck building. Honestly, we don't have a ton of choices to work with, so there's that. But we have enough ways to bring Ashiok back, add counters to them, and so on, that I think it's worth it. And I'm not going to wait for anything. I'm just going to do this. Boo! Island right there and we'd be on our way, but unfortunately, the curse of the two-lander. Ah, that was it. That was it. Right there, if we get an island in particular off the top, I think we'd be okay. As it is, we are in deep trouble. But not dead. Island, ooh, that does not help, but island off the top at least gives us Aven Eternal. Okay, okay. That's the start we wanted. That also gives us Heartfire fodder. Not bad, not bad. You're attacking here, huh? Well, we gotta give them this. Oh, of course, it's flying. Never mind. It's gonna offer that trade. Then maybe we gotta give them this. And then we have to Heartfire the Pegasus out of the sky now. Maybe we draw a land and we just try Turret Ogre. But even in that case, I think we need to start with this block. Not great, but we are trying to come back from a rough mana start here. And that does us in. I think does us in. I guess we go block Heartfire at least. We're a two-color deck with a double splash using the beacon land. We have 2 beacon lands and 2 planeswalkers that we're splashing off of it. Off of them. So technically 4, but really 2 colors with a planeswalker beacon splash. If we come back from this one, they should put me on the MPL. And honestly, it seems like a viable entry condition based on what we know at this point. Land and we're not out of it, especially if they don't. Okay, that's pretty bad. But Turret Ogre still good here. We have to go to 3 if we want to try and trade with the Griffin if they swing out, or we could try and eat the Grizzly or the Conjurant and go to 2. Hey, Suratemi. We're 1-0 with a decent little red-blue spells deck that has a couple of beacons we're using to splash some planeswalkers. Well, you slow rolling me, buddy? Because if you can take out that ogre, we're done for here. Mr. Mo. Yeah, that's not surprising. So I think it's better to take it out and go to 2 rather than trade and go to 3. Yeah, then next turn we have honor at least to make a creature. Stealth mission to eat the griffin. How does that eat? This is sorcery, so we can't... Or just put it on there so that it can eat the griffin is what you're saying? Maybe. Well, we definitely want land, so we're not going to pitch that if we honor here. So I think we honor. We're great. I don't know if we're winning this game, but we're great. So we need to find 2 answers, so this is how we go about that. One time dealer. We had outs to 2 drops, and I'll throw a full control here to... I think it's too late. Yeah, we were looking for a blocker. We had like the 1/3 scries on spells, Heartfire. Yep, I think we used our Heartfire though, right? Yeah. We did have 2s we could conceivably draw, though, so we went for it. We found our... Look for our outs. Oh, and they figured out the attack. All right. GG, Oppo. I feel good about the level of comeback we managed there, given the stuck on 2 land for, like, 3 turns. Oh, the Oppo hitting attack all and leaving the 0/3 as part of the attack was my favorite. Like, that's the best part of their play. I love it. I would do the same thing. Save clicks. All right. Foul to give off the board. This is why it's so hard to win 7. Deck is fine. Keep was fine. Result, less than fine. It depends on the goals of the account, Zach. But if, you know, I was talking to somebody earlier who has the goal of a draft a day, and if truly your goal is just a draft a day, regardless of the length of that draft, then you should probably just be playing the cheapest drafts you can and be playing the 750. So, opposite problem here. We've got our 2 splashes. Splash planeswalkers and no support for it. We do have Kasmina a couple of lands away. I think if we were Island Mountain, I would be sneeping this, but the fact that it's Island and that we don't even have the red for the Spellgorger and we're not casting either of these 2 makes me think we just have to mulligan this. We don't know when we're casting these. We may already have mulliganed to 5 and don't even know it, so let's try again. Okay, this is better. Still need land, though, so we're going to bottom that. Yikes. Not like this. 17. Okay, well, we're ripping the lands we need to put up some sort of defense here. We at least get Rouse on 4. Whether or not we want Teferi on 3 is an open question. I mean, we can bounce something and draw a card and gain 1 life. Like, yeah, it's like... If we played this now, it would be 3 mana to set them back a turn, draw a card. Gosh, Teferi is actually quite powerful when you look at the floor that we've got here. Like, you don't want to run your Planeswalkers out into this kind of situation, but it might be the best path to victory for us. We have ways to start controlling the board if we just slow things down here. Yeah, so let's not overthink. Let's not get too greedy with our Teferi. I'm just going to use it as admonition, and I think that's fine.
I know my responsibility.
And what do we want to send back? Profit, I guess, is the... These two cost the same, but this one has the potential for more damage.
Dream big tonight. You'll find you will be haunted by this tool.
It's only a matter of time.
Alright, as for our follow-up... We could go Kasmina and have... Yeah, let's just put a Turret Ogre down. I'm going to go Kasmina after we have some... try and get some board presence here. Maybe they just take out the Turret Ogre. But I also want to start to threaten Ashiok.
Seen that
Remember, your nightmares remain.
We can outburst him too now if we want, or outburst them. Ashiok's pronouns are they, according to official style guide stuff, I believe. We can just outburst Ashiok, but do we need to? There's no need to panic if we're not going to actually lose to milling, but often these games go deep enough that you don't have to be fully milled. And they're not attacking. Yeah, let's just solve this outburst, or solve this Ashiok problem. Yeah, just because they don't mill you out doesn't mean... Just because Ashiok doesn't actually get you to 0 cards doesn't mean they aren't effectively getting you to 0 cards eventually. So we'll do this. And do we want our Ashiok? They're not doing anything, so yeah, let's see if we can flip the script.
My victory was but a dream.
Uh-oh. Dead ogre. If we draw a land... Next turn, I think I'll go Kasmina, make a wizard, and keep up Heartfire. I think that creates a board I like. Draconis, crush it, crush it, crush it. Here's my big tip for interviews. The thing interviewers do, if you say, well, I'm a very organized person, right? They'll say, what's a time that your organization was useful to you, and or what, you know. So what you do think of your best work stories, the stuff you want to totally talk about, the stuff that you want to sell, and reverse engineer the strength that you're going to mention that causes them to say, well, how did you use that strength effectively, blah, 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 right? And then so I like to think of the stories I want to tell and reverse engineer the skills that they represent, and then mention a strength in those skills so that they ask me to tell me that story. And then it seems like they did it instead of me. There's your tip for the day. What are we doing here? I'm going to let this time out. We didn't get the land. We have Pyrohelix. We could play Kasmina and try to find the land. I'm not sure what's right here. Yeah, I'm going to actually go with this. Except I let auto tap not leave me red, so I'm dumb there.
Hone your control.
And now, got to get rid of one of these. I think Totally Lost is going to be the slow card out here with this stuff. You don't need, they don't even need to be work stories. You have life experience. What are you good at? Why are you good at it? What's an example of you being good at something that you think this prospective employer cares about? Whether it's previous work experience or just a demonstration of your skill set. But the main takeaway is that people who do interviews are taught to ask probing questions of the interviewee when they mention a strength. So you can use that, you can judo that and use it to your advantage. I just love it when they think it's their idea that we're talking about this thing, you know. Okay, we need all the land we can get. I gotta focus in on this now. We're gonna lose. We're definitely doing Kasmina again, so let's maybe start there. Probably gonna use Pyrohelix to take out the
My
Strix.
students are loyal geniuses.
And I don't think Stealth Mission is where we want to be right now. It's kind of anti-planeswalker control. I'm going to ditch the Stealth Mission. Then we're going to play this land. Now I think maybe Ashiok with Heartfire and Pyrohelix up in this board spot is good. Let's go. I don't think it matters all that much, but we'll start here.
I am that which nightmares themselves fear.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, keep doing this instead of targeting the opponent. Have your questions for them lined up. Okay. Still our turn, right? So that doesn't matter. Pretty okay with that use of plating there, actually. Ooh. We'll see how they decide to attack here, but and where they attack. Really, okay, so this is what Ashiok does, though. Like, Nick, like, I know what you mean about Ashiok, but this is also what I mean about Ashiok. People panic about Ashiok. So we could just let him go here. And if we didn't, what would we be doing? Let's assume we're not going to let it go. We would go like here. here. And then if we, like, picked the Strix out of the sky, you'd go to 1. Yeah, I could just use Heartfire with Ashiok himself. I like that. Let's do that. And then go with this, block, Heartfire, zombie army sacking Ashiok. And then I like Spellgorger and Pyrohelix while their shields are down here. I think we can even risk an attack. Maybe even 2. Do we care about Kasmina? And they would have to run something into the weird to do it. Yeah, I'm going to start getting aggro here. $23 to $13 on cards. Get the weird and probably getting an outburst back for that at some point. Trying to figure out if we're sandbagging any lands. Do this. And I don't care. They can have Kasmina now. Whatever. We're gonna swing away. And do this. And try the outburst. The blowout burst. Well, they have something to do instead. They're looking at their cards. No. Ooh, one of the two. Let's go up in the air. Yeah, we'll go Eternal over Weird. If we play the Weird, we have access to all these spells next turn. But I like adding to our attack force here. Hey, doggo. Nap time for dogs. All right, not bad. Some hard-fought wins. Eh. This is pretty strong if we can get the support. Should we keep this? Ugh. I think it's a keep, yeah. I don't love it, but I think it's a keep. Alright, we found blue. I guess Ashiok doesn't even matter. I'm going to keep sandbagging an island here. I think they might figure out what's going on with this weird, though. Okay, Oppo has missed a land drop. Let's see if we can capitalize on that. Play something with 1 toughness. Or don't play anything at all. That is also acceptable. No need for the bacon yet. It does nothing except it's not better than any other land unless we have a planeswalker to cast with it in hand. And nothing to do but attack and play another weird. Oppo in the tank. Or taking a break to flip tables, failing to find another land? I don't know. Oh, deciding on discard. Really sorry, Oppo. That doesn't feel very good. I could leave up Time Twist or whatever, but we're just going to keep dumping pressure. Really want to hold off on Dam Breaker until I can get 1 counter onto these dudes. Happily Blind Blast anything they play, just for the counter and the not block and the card. Such as a Centaur Nurturer. We could also wait until they block one of the 2 weirds, though, and then we just kill the thing. It's a little bit greedier, but now that they've kind of fixed their mana a bit, let's give them a chance to do that. It's instant, right? Instant, okay. Oh, it is suspicious, Oppo. But you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Hopefully they might conclude, well, they're going to 2-for-1 themselves to take out the Nurturer, but it's worth it. But obviously the weird can get big pretty easily. All right, they did it. They're not going to be happy, but I understand. You sometimes have the attitude, well, we can't beat it. We gotta block like they don't have it. I wasn't sure. I think I would not do it for the 2 extra because we have profit and then keep instance up. Ooh, we can Bacon and God Pharaoh. But I think I just like Burning Prophet here. This should put him in real bad situation. Any creature they play, we make it not block and just win. So they need to specifically remove the Cyclops. They can't, or play something with hexproof. They could play the 5/3 hexproof or something. I might do that outside of normal. We had a question from Back to the Cave. Can we do 1 or 2 Modern Horizon streams? I may stream some Magic Online off of my usual calendar. So, we'll see. But I think we just win here, right? Let's just do the whole winning thing. Yeah, why do you think Arena's boring? Just you just want deeper, older content? I mean, I don't think it's boring. It's only boring if you think current Magic is boring. I don't think I wouldn't. Boring wouldn't be the descriptor I personally would use to point out that flaw, but I get what you're saying. I mean, to be fair, I sure do love memes. Sure loves memes. Yeah, you know, we've got that in spades around here, so. Not actually a lot of help for that Ashiok, but we're going to keep this. I'd like this a lot better on the play, where we might drop an Ashiok in a good situation. But these are kind of like not real. So hoping for something real. Or just hoping for Oppo not to do anything. Okay, Oppo is not doing anything at this point. If they play a 1 toughness, we'll just blind blast it. If they don't do anything that threatens an Ashiok, of course we'll drop Ashiok. Prophet, you're late. We had a meeting scheduled. It was in the calendar. What's the deal, man? Lady. Not going to send Ashiok into Battalion. So I guess we, despite the poor performance from Prophet's punctuality, will play it anyway. Let's do a boring, relentless advance. Although, yeah. Yep. We get to scry at least. Bacon, you say. We got Teferi, so let's keep that on top. And can't attack. Yeah, exactly. Just a 3/3 to have some defense. Now I want to use the admonition mode on Teferi. Ooh, yes, please.
Trust me, you'll thank me later.
I was going to bounce the Cyclops, and maybe we still do. They're going to then replay the Cyclops, and then we Heartfire it anyway. Well, that's kind of nice. Yeah, we'll do that.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
If they get desperate and come heavy at Teferi, we can think about what to do there. Oh, it looks like we're going to be taking out Feather. Okay, they don't have the tricks now, or they would have done that. Let's see. Now, we could actually just try and keep Teferi around, but I kind of like just ditching Teferi to kill Feather right now and being happy about the extra value admonition. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I think it's worth it. We got solid value. We'll keep that. If we do Ashiok, they'll probably get desperate and attack in, and then we'll have to maybe let Ashiok... We'd have to decide how we want to... Maybe just keep Totally Lost up, even. Now, let's send out Ashiok. Bottom that.
I am your grace. I leave you. My dream dissipates like
Wow.
smoke.
Well, we did them a favor there, since they're not casting those anytime soon. And I guess we leave Blind Blast up, because then Prophet can actually trade 1-for-1 if they do come at Ashiok. Technically 2-for-1, but then you draw a card, so that's why I landed at 1-for-1. This is enough of a problem that I like Totally Lost and then Ashiok to make it go away. It does not leave us the play we had last turn, though, since we don't have the 3 mana for Blind Blast, but I still like this play. Getting a lot of good scries from the Prophet.
This has been a nightmare.
1925. Oni, welcome back. Missed you too. Glad you're here. Hope all is well. All right. This is the Ashiok attack I was kind of expecting. Do we let him go here? We don't have to. We can do this and just accept that the Prophet goes away here. But then what are we doing on the untap? We untap with Stealth Mission and Blind Blast and no creatures. Glad you had a nice staycation. Is it worth this to just get effectively a few more cards out of him? Probably. I think we can win from here. I'm going to do it. Don't love it, but I'm going to do it.
Behold. Difficult to digest.
And now we might draw Tameo, so let's leave that possibility available as we Blind Blast to draw a card, really. Not a very useful one. So now our Ashiok plan is losing its luster. But again, we got him down to 15. They need to divert an attack away from our life total. But we're flooding out a bit now. Need to find some action. Flooding out in there. They got a fistful.
I aspired for more.
Yeah, this is what happens in a creature light deck when you're using this kind of stuff. So, hard to complain too much about a loss like this, or what feels like an incoming loss just because we're so far behind it here. But we have some risky stuff like stealth mission in a creature light deck. What are our outs? Outbursts. Outburst could get us a dead creature and some defense, so we love an outburst here. That would be good. Failing that, though, a creature is a fine thing to see. Well, hindsight's great when we flooded out afterwards. If we had found a creature, then we would have been okay. I mean, maybe we should have let it go. I'm not saying it was wrong, but it's also... I had a reasoning, and then the thing that we wanted to have happen didn't happen. But I am going to do stealth mission here, just to get it big enough to start blocking this stuff. Hindsight is important as long as we are making sure it's not just being results oriented. If it's saying, hey, that, you know, that result was so likely you really should have considered just letting Ashiok go to be sure you had a good blocker. I'm gonna take an extra point of damage to keep this army from growing. And if we can find Outburst here, we still have a good shot. That ain't Outburst, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, maybe Populous was the right first choice, but then the armies, I don't know. A lot of, Alright. The flood was real. Some decisions that may not have been optimal, but flooding did not help that one. I want more than 3 wins. 4 wins minimum. This is a good deck. Let's get there. To break even in best of 1, you need, at 5 wins you get 650, and at 6 wins you get 850. So it's between 5 and 6 wins is the 750 gem mark. But you know, we paid gold to enter, so we're profitable before we even picked a card. This looks good though. I mean, it starts at 4, but it's a nice 4. No. If we start on 4, I don't love our chances here, although if Oppo finds nothing for their 3rd turn... Their Reaver was late to work, I guess. We know that feel. But look at us starting on 4. Yeah, that's how to get it done. It's not how to get it done. We might be okay, but this is not great. Not great. Because now we're at the mercy of, like, okay, we either need to use our removal on weak stuff, or we got to put out creatures and hope they're removal. I grind it in the sense... Do I ever grind this account off stream? Only in the sense of when I don't play it, I make sure to grind the daily gold. But I don't ever play limited on this account off stream. But now, Pyrohelix, you're late. You're exactly what we needed quite a while ago. Trouble is, they've got mana up for the Reaver activation. So where do we go with this? They've also got mana up for potential counter spells. That's what I'm worried about. If we play the Turret Ogre and they counter it, we take another 3. And then maybe they play something on their turn that allows us to maybe... I don't know. What do we... Kasmina Enigmatic Mentor? I think we have to try the Turret Ogre. You're going to pass. But... they have Dread Malkin mana up. I'm gonna play the Ogre. I'd play the Ogre, but I'm not very good either, apparently, so let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that harm us, that make this rough or dangerous, but we're starting on 4. We're starting on 4. And when you start on 4, you play your first spell on 4, you're taking some risks. We could mentor and have 2 creatures to threaten that Dread Malkin. Yeah, that's a good point. Since they seem willing to be all in on the cat, we should keep mana up, but also keep in mind that they potentially said, okay, I'm willing to act on the cat now because they tapped out. So I don't necessarily expect them to cat EOT with our mana all up. I'm going to give Oppo credit for being decent, and that they made that choice on the benefit of us being tapped out. But we still have Outburst and Pyrohelix ready, so I'm down. We can see how greedy they are. All right, they're greedy enough. I don't like that, Oppo. I gave you more credit than chat, and chat was right. I'm impressed that they didn't scoop right off the table. I'll talk 21 Pilots after this game, Dionysus. I'll give you a list of songs. I don't know their catalog super deeply. I really know the album with Migraine pretty well, and I saw them in concert with Clara. That was actually, they were great live. Anyway, don't distract me. Gotta figure... Okay, they're down to 2 cards. What do we want here? You can just get Manticore down, and that seems like a fine place to try and stabilize here. I just like Manticore, build up a board, and then we have all sorts of stuff we can do next turn behind this defense. You have Tamio getting Outburst back. Like, our options just open up wide when we have 2 creatures to block.
I faced undead hordes. This is Child's guild business to attend to anyway.
Okay. So we want to get Kaya down below 3, so she can't do that thing anymore. What's her static? Let's remember our statics. Okay, she removes hexproof from our stuff. I don't think that matters. Yeah, I just look at, I mean, the floor on Tamio is a 4-mana regrowth, right? Which is not amazing, but if you can then protect her at all and get extra value, then it does start to become kind of amazing. Let's play the Beacon. And we can't go Tamio. Get her back. Let's go Kasmina Pyrohelix attack, though. We'll do that much. Let's go this.
Under my instruction, you will see my students are loyal and brilliant.
I'm not dead yet. Try harder.
That's my line. Now we do have Tamio plus that, but let's start with Kasmina.
Join my cause. I would like to test a new hypothesis with you.
That was enough for Oppo? I wasn't going to play... I was never playing Prophet that turn. Never playing Prophet that turn. Right on. All right, cool. 4 wins feels good. So let's see. I like... to answer Dionysus's question, is he's preparing for a 21 Pilots concert. Quick story time on that. So my daughter's a big fan of 21 Pilots, and I kept telling her, you got to track when artists are coming into town, and so that you can go see them when, you know, you can catch a concert that's important to you or whatever. But she didn't do it. So I tracked 21 Pilots and found out when they were coming in town and got really great seats, like kind of front row balcony seats. And but I didn't tell her we were going to see 21 Pilots. She goes to see Symphony with my parents sometimes. My parents like to go to the Symphony, and they do their best to try and enrich the minds of their grandchildren. And so I told her we were going to meet up with... Told her we were going to go meet up with the grandparents and see Symphony, which she does because she likes all sorts of music and wants to make her grandparents happy. And so I told her we were walking to the Symphony, but I made sure we passed by the theater where 21 Pilots were playing and waited until she saw the billboard, and she just started to freak out that 21 Pilots are playing that night, and she didn't know about it, and she's going to see the Symphony with her grandparents instead. And I let her suffer for, you know, I think the right amount of parental time of suffering there, and then I let her in on it that we were actually going to see 21 Pilots, and she flipped out again in a great way, and then it was amazing. Dionysus, you're gonna love it. They are outstanding performers, and the crowd makes a big difference, right? And here we are watching, and I would say like 90% of the audience in this packed, sold-out show knew every word of every song. It was that kind of fandom there. And seeing that kind of passion from the audience really engages you as kind of the 10% who doesn't know everything. But I really kind of fell in love with them that day. It was a really excellent show. And so I'm bad with titles, but Migraine's my favorite. House of Gold is my second favorite. Then probably Stressed Out. I like Stressed Out, and I like Fake You Out, and that's my top handful. But I also don't know don't know all the names and stuff. You'll have a great time. Great show. All right, we're at 4 wins. I got the record updated. Yes, let's go back in. More starting on 4. We have a lovely 4, 5, 6, but nothing going on early. Do we keep this? I think we have to keep this and just cross our fingers a bit that we don't get aggroed out. All right, cool. We found something for 3. That's great. And it's even triggered by our 4, so... And Oppo didn't do anything on 2. It's all coming up Millhouse. And nothing on 3. Now they might counter this, but I'm okay with that too. The point is we're not under a lot of pressure here. I had to remember about the life gain. Like I was thinking, oh, we don't need to play the beacon yet because we don't have our splash planeswalkers or whatever, but this would be a reason to play that. Now, do we want to resequence here to get the Spellgorger Weird going? Yeah, I think so. We'll try again on the Spellgorger. That's a big boy. Might have to double up Ral's Outburst with, like, Aven Eternal or something in order to take that out eventually. Or maybe we just try and get this weird big enough, quickly enough. Doesn't have Trample, right? So we could play Kasmina. Or Chain Whip and just start applying some pressure back the other direction before trying the Ral's Outburst combo with something to take it out. But we do, or we just get up to Dambreaker and then it trades 1 for 1. Maybe that's the real plan. Plan A is that Dambreaker successfully trades with this troll. In which case, I think we just want to go Cyclops here. The tempo plays available to blue-green are scary, though. This troll may get us just because of the, again, Callous Dismissal. But really, Dismissal... It's maybe where it ends, folks. Let's see, 7... 7. We gotta say no blocks here, as scary as that is. Ultimately, we need 4 power plus Ral Outburst to get rid of this troll. So again, kind of suggests that we need to be Cyclopsing. But what other multiple plays do we have? We can go Dambreaker, chump the troll with the weird, and then try to get it done with a Dambreaker. But at that point, we may as well just be doing it with the Cyclops anyway. Although the Cyclops is close to not having it. Like, if they proliferate one more time, even the Cyclops plus Outburst doesn't get it done. So through all of that, I think we're just on play Dam Breaker here and chump the Troll with the Weird and see if the Dam Breaker holds off the army. Like, if they're completely out of real gasoline here, we have means to stabilize. And there's the extra proliferate I was worried about. Fortunately, we can still eat the army token, and Rao's Outburst plus Dam Breaker is still enough to take out the Troll, even with one more proliferates. No, this is... we are at... If they proliferate again, we can't get the Troll, but we still have outs against this Troll here. We'll see how they attack this turn. That's a big question. All right, we had some outs. We had a plan. Every last card of Oppo's was perfect. I mean, ugh. Look at this. They're tapped out on 7, 0 cards in hand, and ridiculous board. Like... Snowball much? We talked about the snowball effect of this format, and we are getting it in the face. I don't think this is not a Cabs card right here. Just for what that's worth. I think we're done for, but I'll make the chump. What do we have? The question is, like, what do we even do about this Troll? So we have Totally Lost. And I don't see literally anything else. So we are looking for Totally Lost. And I guess we do that with... but we have to do this to get 2 blockers. So we go Kasmina and Aven Eternal to get a bunch of blockers and stuff.
Future.
Maybe we can get that big enough. I think I guess we'll ditch this. Probably not, though. Yeah, the trouble is we're doing too much chumping to even if we find Totally Lost off the top, I don't know how we end up winning. I guess here we have to go chump and actually trade. Gotta get... Is this not blocked? What's going on? Am I missing something? Oh, everything that can only be... Right. Okay. Yeah, that really screws us. We're just beyond dead. To the point, we'll do this too. Hey, Bruce. Showed up right in time to see us lose an event. I don't think there's anything for us.
Hone your control.
8. I'm gonna go for a moral victory here. I can't even get my moral victory now.
Ripples through time. Be mindful.
No, I'm going to be a capricious commander
Form a
and
new plan.
throw pain around at my team. Well, I have said that I really think a big weakness of the red-green deck is, or the red-blue deck, is the big green stuff. So there you go. All right, well, 450 gems for free. You paid gold to get those gems. Crack the packs.
The wind of my sword is your death knell.
Flooded, screwed, and overwhelmed by an awesome curve out. And just like that, you're done. So it goes.